first, oh, I see Alex over there. So your slide that you had up there, you have, so we build in multiple states. We're not that big like the Publix. We're a somewhat large privately held company. But technology has eluded us for years, and really trying to figure out what you deliver to the consumer. And in today's world, I think it's much easier for us because of Amazon, Apple, Google, Alarm.com, Cox. They have marketing out there that is giving insight to consumers what they could potentially have in their home. And as builders, I think it's easier for us to deliver on that promise by manufacturers that resonate with the consumer. If they're looking at a new home, like all of you, if you're buying a new car, you're looking for the new facets of that car, and a lot of them are technology based. But we took a very interesting approach, started out very myopic with our launch. We just felt like we needed to compete in the marketplace and have some technology offering. We did that for a couple of years. And then Alex, that's why I pointed him out, he led the charge nationwide. Alex, why don't you stand up and wave to everybody, because he can ask you a whole bunch of questions. How do you deal with these unruly divisions in multiple states? But similar to B2C or B2B, we did a team-to-team approach, taking a look at what was our consumer demographics within specific markets, what products really captured the awareness of the consumer. And so those are big national products. And really, if you look at home technology and connectivity in a home, you basically, for a consumer level, you have Apple, Google, and Amazon. And then there's a bunch of ancillary products that go with that. And so that was our baseline approach. It was really, how as an organization do we demonstrate to a consumer that we're forward thinking about the livability and the experience that people have in a home. From then, you really have to be a great storyteller. So just like you tell the story of the livability of your home, of your options or upgrades or the features that are included in your home, we really had to be a better storyteller of technology. Fast forward to today, and that was your question. It's a radically different approach. So we have very few technology options because of what Mike talked about. When you interview that customer, you're going to find out that your customers have varied technology, in where they're currently at or what their expectation is for the home. And so today in the Phoenix market, every one of our customer meets with our integrator. We are agnostic to the products. We have Shea Connect. Those are baseline products that come included with the home. The infrastructure to support those products are included with the home. But then that customer, through the interviews that Mike was talking about, our integrators personalize those programs. And so whether it's you on an Amazon home or a Control4 or a Savant or a Lutron, we offer. Now we build in the Phoenix market in multiple price ranges from, let's say, $400,000 to $5 million. Across our portfolio, we do multifamily, attached, all different types of products that meet different consumers. And so, it's very varied as you're trying to adopt a program as a builder. You're going to have to look at all of those markets and come together, like Alex channeled us into a room and we made it happen. So kind of an interesting approach, but that's what we did.
So standards and then the options are all going to be administered through the technology integrator design appointment.
Yes, so we learned that, we were talking about it earlier when you were doing your interviews at your tables, but the challenge is number one, as you get bigger and you're selling in multiple locations within a specific market, outside of the base price of your home, you're basically a retailer of options. And so you have to be very careful on how you price options. In our market, we could work with 6 different electricians, 5 different integrators, and if we're just applying a margin on that, we had varied pricing. Well, don't kid yourself, your consumer or your customers are traveling between your communities and shopping. And so we really had to spend quite a bit of time. It took us almost probably 2 years to go through and standardize pricing across our communities, so more like a retailer. And ultimately, if you want to sell options online, you're going to have to really be like a retailer and have unified pricing. So, You know, it was a very interesting approach that we took, and it seems to be paying huge dividends. So since when I say we don't have option codes for technology, we allow our integrator to price everything with the customer, no matter what they want. If you want a Savant home, you meet with that integrator. He picks everything. You can do iDevice switches, Lutron switches, whatever those characteristics are that you want in your home. They print out their invoice at our margin and then just give us the invoice, and we just insert in one option code, it's like technology, and just put in the total purchase price from that integrator. And we've seen huge, I mean, before we'd always have these conversations over and over again about what option and did that integrator give us a, you know, price increase on a TV or a receiver or any component inside of the home. And this way, it helps us so much better to really mitigate that and ultimately deliver a personalized service to our customer.
So you've pre-negotiated with the integrator your commission rates on this stuff, and as the sales, they come back into your system as through these design appointments, it's coming back into your system?
Correct. So our sales team really talks about, number one, our baseline package really tells the story. You know, if you're an energy efficient builder, you're going to have energy efficient things included in your home, and then you probably have options, you know, to go above and beyond that. So whether that's heating and cooling or water or air quality, the consumer just has to have that confidence and trust that Mike pointed out. You know, when you have that, then it's easier to say, hey, you can meet with these other companies to help personalize, you know, what you want in your home.
In the marketing materials that I pulled from your slides, that is part of your standard offer, or those are the optional pitches? And who develops that, and how is that delivered to the consumer?
So from our Shea Connect package, that's through national. And so that's the story that we tell across the country that, hey, this is the baseline offering that we have. When you get into a division level, you have multiple communities and multiple integrators. So we work hand in hand with those integrators to provide solution-based content. We don't give a lot of pricing out in those. We just want to pique the curiosity of the consumer to say, hey, you know, in-home audio is really cool. Maybe I want to upgrade my Sonos system or my Amazon Dot system to a full integrated system. So we paint that picture with the customer, and so
You've got a lot of entertainment loaded in there. Yeah, I don't know whether you've got that slide.
Oh, yeah. So
next slide after that.
Next slide.
Yep.
So tons of content. A lot of that content's coming from the manufacturer. A lot of that content's coming from the integrator. Many of these are digital assets. So some of our integrators, prior to the appointment, they interview the customer online. They provide content. Again, back to storytelling. They explain the process. So it's a multifaceted process when you purchase a new home, because you're buying the home. If it's a new build, which predominantly that's what we do. We're not a big inventory home builder. But from that customer, you have to pick the plan, you know, the elevation, the home site, the community that best suits your need. And they're really talking about the livability of the home and the price point. From there, you're offering structural options. Then you have a design studio path, which we basically call the surfaces of the interior of the home. Then you go down the path of low voltage, and then we take a separate channel, because mostly it's through our electricians, and all lighting. Not lighting controls, but personalized lighting inside of the home. So we provide a ton of content to our customers for that.
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of put the lighting piece in the whole technology scheme of stuff. It's line voltage, but it's part of the technology package in many ways.
Yeah, and for all the high volume builders out there, this is a tough road, because you have multiple electricians, you got multiple low voltage providers. Some of them aren't the best salespeople in the world. And so we spend time understanding who's talking to our customers. Are they articulating not only our brand message, but what the consumer wants? In some instances, we hired a third-party consultant, agnostic to the process, and so they take on lighting and/or low voltage, and they provide all the schematics, go through the process with the customers. I sent you some slides on that. It's very fascinating for what Atera does. Right. But they actually take a home, create it virtually, and show lighting, and that can be high voltage or low voltage lighting on how it changes the look, the feel, the texture of the home, whether you're entertaining or just living in the home or watching media.
Cool. Thank you for that download.